Welcome to the Limitless Army and Above the Cut team call. Today is October 4th, and we are talking success partners. The funny thing is about this call is that Darlene and I have been wanting to do this call for forever, and we kept putting it off because we had like all these wonderful speakers come on. And then yesterday, Leadwell Legacy did a call on success partners, but I didn't watch that call because I didn't want to be skewed and kind of start telling you guys the same thing that they told you on Monday if you jumped on that call. So I actually didn't listen to it yet because I figured we're two different people, two different perspectives, two different partnerships, and it's probably better to learn from all types of people and see what kind of success, partnership you want. So if you haven't listened to the Leadwell call, maybe that's something you can find the recording for on the Leadwell Legacy page afterwards. So I did a small agenda, and Darlene, you can interrupt me at any time.
I sure will.
But I guess our first discussion is, why even have a success club partner? Like what's a success partner about? So I'll give you my perspective on it, and maybe then Darlene can give you hers. But, a success partner, when you're in this business, for the most part, you're working on your computer, on your phone, alone. Sometimes you're on a number of chats, but you really are on your own. You're an entrepreneur. You're doing this solo. You're a solopreneur. And it can get really lonely, even though it's like a social business, right? You have your challengers, you have social media, but you're still like trying to hit the pavement alone, especially when you're new and you're trying to learn things, or even veteran, like you still feel alone if you don't have a partner to be in this with you. So for me personally, it's a way to connect with somebody else, build my business with somebody else, and kind of celebrate successes along somebody else. We're not like running on the same exact path, but we can communicate. And the other thing is that when you're part of a team, and we're Limitless Army and the Above the Cut team, but we're part of a much larger team, it's easy to get lost, and it's easy to kind of forget what to do in a sense. And depending on your success partnership and what, the ground rules you guys set for one another, there's a person out there in the team that's going to call you back in. And if you've given them permission to check you, when you're falling off and stuff, they're very useful for that. So I don't know if you have something else to add as to why a partner is a good idea.
Yeah, no, I do. I basically love the part that we have a success partner, mainly because if you think about it in the roles that you have today, or the fact that you work and you have your job and you work, in corporate America or whatever job you have someone that's holding you accountable for the job you're doing, right? So basically, just like Melissa said, we're solo. We're working on our own because we're building an empire. We're building our empire as ourselves. So you at times could be in front of your computer and start feeling tired because of the day that you went through. You went to work, you have family, you have so many crazy stuff, you study, whatever is it that you have in your day-to-day life, that when you don't have a partner to check you and say, you know what, I understand you're tired, but remember when you told me that your goals are X, Y, and Z? You're not going to get there if you fall asleep at 10 o'clock at night. So that's how a partnership will, for me, me looking in my perspective, how it will work. Because I tell Melissa all the time, I give you permission to call me out and tell me, no, Darlene, let's go. Or like Melissa today was calling me. She's like, where are you? I'm on our Zoom call. You haven't shown up. What, did you oversleep? Like, hello, where are you? And she called me. But I also told her, I'm not going to get anywhere if you're nice to me. Like, I need you to tell me, Darlene, if you know that I put something out there and it sucks, I need you to tell me that sucks, take it down. I'm not here to like for me to be like, oh, Melissa, I can't believe you said that to me. I'm here to be like, thank you, because that's only going to help me, one, grow, and two, take me even further than where I was before. So think about success partners as someone that's going to call you out when you feel like you're going to slack. Someone that it's looking at you because you both have the same exact goals and you're trying to get somewhere, whether it's just by helping people or whether your goal is because you want to make extra income because you want to leave your job or pay bills or whatever it is.
Or if it's a weight loss goal, same thing.
Or it's a weight loss goal. So just the same way, we have an accountability group for weight loss. Thank you, Melissa. That was actually jogging my memory. Consider this your accountability partner for your business. I'm like, mine is blown right now. So it's like you have it for your fitness, weight loss. You have an accountability group. A success partner is that, but for your business.
And so, the next thing I wanted to talk about is like, who is a good partner? So I think I literally became a coach, I think now 3 years ago. I think it was in October of whatever year that was, 3 years ago. And I've been through a couple of success partners here and there just because either we thought we were on the same page and then we weren't, or kind of chose somebody out of the blue and then it didn't work out. And I think that a good partner and the way it really works is, one, you have to both really want to work together. Like, you have to both realize, I'm missing something, I need something, and this other person can help me get there. So there has to be some type of mutual back and forth, which brings me to that person being, they don't have to be your complete opposite, because then you might not get along, but that they have a quality that you really admire or that you'd like to make better in your own personal business or life. So for example, I can, if allowed, and I don't allow myself to, if allowed, I could work all day because I literally don't pay attention to what I'm doing. So I'll be like, oh, I have to invite. And then I'm like, oh, I have to this. Oh, and Darlene's very diligent about her time. So she's like, I have this time to do this, I have this time to do this, and this to do this, and then I'm going to go do this with my kids. And like, everything is scheduled out. And that's not my nature. That's a learned behavior for me. It's something that I've had to practice over and over again. Like, literally on our power hours, I'm still asking her what I need to do because I can get lost. I can get really lost, especially when it's time to get creative. I'll go off the handle, forget everything else I have to do because I'm like, oh, I want to design something pretty. Or I want to blog because those are the things I love to do. So I knew that I needed someone that was going to help me get on track with that. And I knew I needed somebody who was going to tell me, all right, you can't get on your computer at 8 a.m. and still be inviting at 9 p.m. Like, that's just not cool. You need to have structure. So Darlene offers that for me. She is structure. So you really need to take an inventory, and it's like you have to be very honest with yourself. Like, where are you lacking? What are you not good at? What do you want to get better at? And look around and see who has those qualities that you want. Maybe it's you don't run really good challenge groups, maybe that's where you need help. Or you need, help in
time management
or consistency. And you see somebody that's like really good at that. Or maybe you're just not, the creative one, you know what I mean? And you can find someone who has those qualities for you. And of course, getting along is important. And of course, they don't have to be the same goals. But I think it's really important to have similar goals. Something that's gonna push both of you. So if what pushes you is, having 5 people in a challenge group every month. And then what pushes your success partner is the goal of, Success Club legend or something. Those are very similar goals at the end of the day. They're not the same goal, but they're very similar. And you guys and they're quantifiable, and you can really work on them together. So you want to have somebody that has that like drive that you have, has a quality that you don't have, and also wants to push forward and willing to be better every single day.
Yeah. But that's the key, finding your weakness on where you lack and finding someone that's strong in that area so you could complement each other. I suck when it comes to designing stuff. And when Melissa and I are working together and we're like, okay, time to create an event because we're doing a free clean eating challenge group. And we're here, okay, create the cover page. She's done in 2 minutes and I'm here 10 minutes later. We're like, I hate this part. And I show it to her. She's like, this is ugly, Darlene. I hate that. That's not my niche. That's not what I'm good at. So that like complementing each other is big. It's huge. And especially finding someone that's opposite from you, but someone that wants the same goals or more than you, because that when they want the same and more than you, they're going to push you even more.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, you have to get along in some ways, right? Because I think the best success partnerships that I've seen out there, like Christina Delgado and her sister Becky, they're sisters, but they're success partners. Mickey and Saudi, Audrey and her partner. What's her partner's name?
Melissa?
Monica.
Like it's with an M.
Yeah, she's a Lopez.
She's a Lopez.
Yeah. When you see these people, like you can see that they really like get involved in one another's lives. And that's just the nature of working with someone, right? We've all been in work relationships where you're like, that's my work husband, because you just work so well with this person that you just, it's like magic. Everything you make is like making, a baby. It's just like, this freaking works. We're just so good together. So you want to make sure that, of course, you're going to, in the long run, get along with this person, because you will get involved in one another's lives. It's just part of working with someone. So how do you find one? I think that the main thing is getting involved in your team pages, getting involved in the community, being the type of coach that is willing to share their, the things that they know. When you are on your team chat, for example, with Above the Cut, or if you're in my team chat, or you're in my team page, or you're on the Lead Well page, a lot of coaches shy away from posting something they found or something that they learned or whatever it might be, because they feel like, oh, I'm so new, or I don't want to share that, or I have a question, I don't want to put it on a page that has like 10,000 coaches on it. But doing that is what helps you build the relationships within the community, the Beachbody community. And in turn, you might find someone you really like, someone who keeps answering your questions, or someone who keeps commenting on your stuff, and you start seeing, the way that person works. I know with Darlene and I, we were in one of Audrey's first team chats, and we were like probably two of the most active people on the chat. So we already started seeing how we worked, when we had a goal, like for Diamond, we weren't success partners then, but we worked together to push ourselves and the other people who had the goal for Diamond.
You say that and I'm laughing.
Yeah, the midnight calls and
No,
the
there was one where we went this story is funny really quick. We went to Vegas and I'm competitive. So basically if Melissa tells
oh,
me I'm at Success Club 10, I'm like, shoot, how can I beat her and get to 12? So one time I didn't know Melissa and I was just getting to know each other, and I used to compete with her on our
oh,
team
that's funny.
chat. And she used to be like, I'm gonna be diamond by this thing. I'm like, I'm gonna be diamond before you. Oh, Melissa's at 6, so I'm gonna go to 10. And I remember we were in Vegas. It was our first summit, coach summit. And she pulled me to the side and I'm like, I gotta be honest. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's up? She's like, I am not a Ruby and I don't like when you compete with me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I felt so bad, but that's the best part of, being in a team and knowing one another, because you learn each other's personality. So now that I work with Melissa, I know when she tells me that, I'm like, okay, I can say that I'm gonna, do this, because that's not how she ticks. That's not how she operates.
Right.
She's not a Ruby that way, so I can talk to her that way. But like posting in team pages, like Melissa said, it also helps you get out of your comfort zone. And things that you are fearful of, like if you're fear of public speaking. I was looking at my videos when we first started recorded trainings, and my goodness, was I bad. I was bad. But how do you perfect something when you are either afraid of or you're bad at? Is that the more you do it and the more you put yourself out there, the better you get. It's like a wine. The more you're doing it, you age really good and taste awesome.
And the other thing is just, you just start to feel people out, right? Like you guys are on this call. You might see some of the same faces over and over again on the call, reaching out to those coaches that are also on this call and seeing, maybe they have similar goals. You can always interview someone and ask them and see what it's about and what they're doing and what their goals are with their business. It's, I think a lot of people are afraid of doing that, like feeling it out, but that's how what else, who else is out there. And you'd be surprised how many people are looking for a connection too. I mean, like I started this call, we're solopreneurs. We work by ourselves. It is lonely. It is nice to have somebody else around that you can reach out to, whether it's at 6 a.m. to do a workout with them or at 9 p.m. to do a power hour together. That person becomes your buddy. And they don't have to live in the same town as you. They don't have to have the same family structure as you. They just have to be willing to show up for you. That's really the main thing. It's like, are you going to show up for me? I'm going to show up for you. And you guys just stick to one another. I don't know if in your challenge groups you have any challengers that end up bonding, but in my challenge groups I'll find that I have challengers who are in completely different parts of the world. Some of them are in Canada, and then the other one's all the way down in Florida, and somehow they connect and they manage to at least text each other every morning, like, did you do it? Like, did you work out? And that's just there in a challenge group. It can build to so much more in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do with your success partner?
Oh my goodness, that's the fun part. Because normally you do, what are your business goals? So if you're looking at, you want to be at a certain part, like a certain area in your business. I'll give you an example. When Melissa and I first started working with each other, like really going full force, was when we both quit our job back in May. And we literally sat down and I told her, I was like, I want to be a 6-figure income earner, and this is how much I want to make. Now, what does that look like? And we literally sat down and started breaking down. If you go into the files on our team pages, you will see, in order for you to be a 6 income earner, these are the habits that a 6 income earner does every single day consistently without missing a heartbeat. So it was us like basically sitting down and writing those things down. Make sure you hit Success Club. Make sure you do a power hour. Make sure you're reading personal development. You're working out. And it was putting it by like a plan together. And then what we decided to do is how does that plan look like? How are we going to get from where we are now to doing this? And it was putting everything into play. So Melissa and I work together every single day, and we Zoom each other in every single day. Are we going to have days that are going to be hard because we have family emergencies or we have things that we have to do in our personal life? Of course. But you better believe it that at the end of the night, we're checking on each other, be like, did you do your power hour? What did you do today to win your day and win your business? Did you invite, like, your 15, 30 people? Did you grow your business? We check on each other because that's the whole point of having a success partner. You're holding each other accountable to make those goals that you set forth together. And, aside from the power hour, ours goes beyond a power hour, because once we're done with an hour, then we start looking, like, if she tells me I haven't blogged, like I want to blog because I love blogging, we make sure that we put in, like, we're going to blog. Or if we know that we have an event coming on, like next week we have the Coach Opportunity event coming on, the sneak peek. I know, like, we write in our calendar on Wednesday, we have to create an event, we have to start inviting people, we have to do Facebook ads, we have to post on our like page. And, we work like that together. So it builds upon even more. She knows I'm bad at doing personal development, and she calls me out every time. She's like, what book are you reading? I'm reading right now the 12-week year, because we're doing that, a group, and that's a book that's recommended. And Barbie's reading it. And Melanie Mitchell's reading it. That's mainly why I'm reading it, because I follow whatever Melanie Mitchell does, I follow.
Also, so the first things I would say is, when you find a success partner, of course, like Darlene said, goals, right? Sit down and be very honest about your goals, but also sit down and, like Darlene mentions, I had already told her what makes me tick and what doesn't. But if you don't know that about that person, and then it's really important to have that conversation. What, makes you tick? What is one of those things that you're just like, don't go there with me? But also be open about, well, I need you to, these are my faults. This is where I'm missing in this business. And have that conversation about how you want to be approached when you're not doing those things. Because the last thing you want to do is get upset at how somebody checked you, even though you said you wanted to be checked. So make sure that you have those conversations, and it becomes a real partnership. So you want to know how one another operates. The other thing is that, of course, as your sponsoring coaches, myself and Darlene, we want to be there for everybody. But the truth is, it's hard to do that, right? So you have your success partner who becomes that person that you can work with all of the time. So set up, whether it's one time a week that you guys check in, set up what the expectations are. Do you need someone to check in with you daily? Is that what you're looking for? Or are you looking for someone who's going to check in on you on a Sunday and tell you, how'd you do? Did you win your week? What did your week look like? For me, I personally like the personal interaction. So the Zoom calls are really useful to me because we get to talk to one another. But if you don't have time for that, and that's what Messenger is for, that's what text messages are for, that's what other things are for. But you want to make sure you have some type of regular routine going with that person, because you want to be there for them, and you want them there for you. So I think that's what ends up becoming really magical about the Success Club partnership, is that when we make goals, we, set these goals for ourselves, and then we don't meet them. And we're disappointed, but we've only disappointed ourselves. When we work with someone else and we've told them our goals and we've verbalized it, now we feel a sense of, I have to do this because I told I told this person that I would. And then it becomes something that you feel bad when you don't achieve it. So if you're saying, this month I'm going to achieve Success Club 5, and you're working with your partner and you say you're going to do this, and then October 31st comes and you're not there yet, you're going to push harder for 5 than you would for yourself, just because you have this person there who's like, did you do it? Did you do it? Are you going to do it? I mean, that was the truth for me last month. I was like not there until the very end of the month. and Delaney was at Success Club 12, and I was like at 2. And I was just like, I need to make this happen. Like, I'm not going out like that.
And I'll follow up with her and I'll be like, did this person call you? What did this person say? Who are you talking to now? Are you talking to new people?
Yeah, because you forget that. And honestly, if I didn't have the partnership, most likely I could have easily just been like, you know what? It's not going to happen this month.
And for me, I would have been like, no, Melissa, that's not acceptable. Make it happen and work until midnight on the last day of the month.
Because you don't hear that extra little voice, right? That little voice is telling you, but you said you were going to do it. So, those are all types of things that you can do with your success partner. Of course, also making sure that you're doing your workouts. That's one thing I also check in on with Darlene is like, did you do your workout already, or are you going to do it later? And if achieving a certain fitness goal is part of the agreement, then you guys need to have that conversation every day, right? You need to ask each other, did you do your workout? Did you drink your Shakeology? What's going on if the person is not? Have you achieved your goals? Do you need help with XYZ? So you want to be very honest and explicit with the person. And that's why it's really important to pick the right partner, because you're not willing to do that with everybody, right? I mean, we're coaches, but we're humans too. And humans can close off really easily. So you want to find somebody that you can openly have those conversations with and be willing to listen to theirs too, because it's going to be about your problems, but it might also be about theirs. So, like Darlene said, we do our power hours together, and that makes it really easy for us to make sure that we're checking off our goals. But if your times don't match to do your power hours together, then you want to check in on one another and make sure, did you invite? Did you do this? Did you follow up? Are you running a challenge group this month? Why or why not? And maybe you can run challenge groups together if you're both very new. Or you can run a team opportunity call together, or whatever it might be, because that's how the camaraderie will work, but that's how you'll get better at what you need, help with. So anything else you wanted to talk about, Darlene? Those are my 4 buckets.
No, we hit it all on the head. Oh, she makes fun of me when I say these Darlene-isms. She's like, what?
Yeah. So
I don't know. How do you say it?
I don't know what you would say, but yeah, she says certain things. I'm like,
do you mean this?
English.
Do you guys have any questions?
If you do, I think you could unmute yourself.
Yeah, ask away. Don't be shy. We're all here to help each other out.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
So who's going to be doing these pairings, or do we get to choose, or will it be like a more experienced coach with a newer coach? Is it that you're going to be assigning who's going to be with who?
No, basically it's based on what your goals are. So I'll give you an example. I was speaking to a coach the other day, not in our team, and she's like, I'm going to go with this person. And I told her, I don't think it's a good idea because that person is not heading where you want to go. So, you should pick someone that if you are trying to make, let's say $90,000 come next year, that you find someone who's as focused as you want to be or even more, and partner yourself with that person. So then that way that person is pushing you and helping you and, you driving you to those goals. Because if you find someone that it's not there mentally yet with the business, what's going to happen is that you are going to start giving yourself excuses of why you cannot do certain things, certain parts of your business, and that person is not going to check you. They're not going to be like, no, now that you say you wanted this, you got to do it. They're going to be like, okay, I understand. So just like Melissa has said, find, someone, if you want advice, we could give it to you because we know most of our team members in our team, but finding definitely someone that, one, you get along, and two, is going to push you because you know what you want for your goals. And they're going to be right there with you.
Oh, another good place to make sure you can find a success partner is if you're not, like in a physical location with other coaches in your team, go to your local Super Saturdays and also join the pages. You can search. It's very easy to search like coaches in Virginia. And most likely there's a Beachbody Coaches Virginia page. And you can jump on there. And there might be someone who lives like down the street from you that is a coach if you want that like face-to-face type of partnership. But of course, I mean, it helps to be with someone who's on the team because you know that you're getting the same information, you know that you guys have a similar flow, But I know that like Heather was telling us she found her partner through one of the other Beachbody pages, Heather Hooker.
And so did Gabby. Gabby's
through the Latino.
She's the Latin page, and she's in a completely, totally different team.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be someone on this team, on Leadwell, on Team Eagle, or anything. But, it definitely has to be someone that has the drive that you have.
That's key.
And if not more than your drive, and that you can offer them something. So, you want to be able to get a lot from them as well, but of course, be able to offer some type of quality that you have that you think that they would benefit from so that you guys can have some type of mutual arrangement.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so me and Arlene are new success partners. We've been dating for a little while. And so I was wondering, because since we're new and like, we're still trying to figure out like a pattern and get our things lined up. Are we allowed to like double date with another team just so that we can kind of see what they do? Like how would I arrange something like that? Like if we were able to like power hour with a group like Melissa Darleni, and just kind of use that to see, like, to write down, like, oh, well, that's probably a good idea. Let's use this portion of our time for that, opposed to what we're doing now, kind of just, like, figuring it out and stumbling on our feet and everything. Like, is there a way to kind of get, like, a more direct path so that we can just get up and going? So
Yes. Well, we typically power hour in the morning when you guys are working. So we would just have to arrange a time that would work for us so that all four of us can get on and go over like what our power hour and what our day looks like as success partners. That's easy.
I didn't even ask Arlene, but I just thought of a question right now. But like, I think that'd be very useful for new success partners in general, and just for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I think Darlene would say yes. I said yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I know for like me, we get people all the time that come into our power hour, and like lately I have reached out to Heather not so long ago, and she reached out to me, and she's like, just like Melissa said, she's like, oh, you are like this, like you stay on track. And I'm like, yes, I do. She's like, can I join you guys? I'm like, yeah, why not? The more the merrier. When we all like work together, we all succeed together at the same time. And there's no better feeling than that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we're at places and I'm like, oh, I miss Wendy, and where's Jenny? And we want our team with us, like, especially when we're at Super Saturday and, who do we have? Jericho coming and Joe. And I'm like, oh my God, who's coming with me? Who's going to work out with this hottie and like go for it with me right next to me? And, it's like having you guys there. It's everything. So absolutely. If you want to jump on a power hour, if you want us to show you our agenda so you can see how it looks like and how we, stay on track and how we meet our goals, we'll be more than happy to share that with you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I think the best thing would be, because you guys have an opposite schedule than me and Darlene, is to let us know with your schedule
What works,
so
yeah.
that we can jump on something with you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's
And that's on the flip side. If anyone here, if you guys are a newer coach and you're still kind of lost or confused because you don't know what a power hour should look like, you don't know how to grow your network, or you're still afraid of inviting because you don't want to sound silly, this is the time where you could also jump in, because when we do power hours, sometimes I get the silliest questions from prospects. Like this morning, I was telling Melissa, why is she asking me this? Like, she's telling me that she's going to a gym. She pays $26 plus her nutrition is not good, but then, you know, she's giving me excuses, Melissa, like, how do I get out of it? And we help each other out. Like, say this, like, try asking her this question to see what she says.
Yeah.
So it helps a lot. Especially growing. Growing is the one that we get the most. People always ask us, how do we grow our network? Because I don't have enough people to speak to. In a power hours where we show you this is how you grow, there's so many different ways to grow your network. There's the power hour, because when you find a friend and you start adding from there, Facebook suggestions, or doing free clean eating groups. That's a huge way to grow your network. So that's when all those ideas come in.
Yeah. So the short answer is yes. Anybody else? Question?
No, but thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Anyone else has questions that you guys want to know or pondering?
And if everybody here is in New York?
No.
Okay.
No, honey.
Florida?
Jenny's not in New York.
Yeah, she's Pennsylvania, I think, right?
I'm in Indiana.
I think we have Indiana, North Carolina.
Okay, nobody in Florida.
Are you
No.
in Florida?
She's in Florida, yeah.
They're not on today, but Wanda and Sylvia are both from Florida. Where are you in Florida?
Broward, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, I think they're both more central. But are you looking for someone that you can meet up with?
Possibly. I'm going to the Super Saturday at the end of the month, so I guess I'll see who is there.
Oh, you know what could help too, Ronaldo? If you go onto and we've seen this, other coaches do this, go on our team page and say who in our team lives in this area.
Okay.
And then from there you could see who's closest to you, and then maybe you could meet up, see if you guys connect, and start from there.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing, at least for me, is like, don't be afraid to date coaches, in a sense. Like,
I love that.
if you have like a person that you think you might want
Did
to
you
be
want that for tonight or tomorrow morning?
chatting with them and just checking out whether or not they would be good matches for you would be a good idea, because you learn a lot, and at the end of the day you may just make a friend and not a success partner.
Yeah.
So I know I've spoken to tons of coaches one-on-one. It's like, well, what are your goals? What are you doing? How do you do this? So I'm like,
I book all the time.
I'm like, yeah, I don't think this one would work, but okay.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Can't get the video to work.
Anyone else? Who tried core de force yesterday? I know Melissa did.
I did do core de force yesterday.
I felt so sexy. I felt like such a badass.
It was good. It was
Right,
good.
Ronaldo? I know Ronaldo tried it.
Oh, yes. It was real good. I was sweating.
Yep. That's why I went live. You guys take advantage. I went live right after, and I already have 5 people asking me when is it coming out.
I can't get back onto it. It was just that one-time thing.
It was a sneak peek, yeah. But they're supposed to do another sneak peek on October 24th.
Okay.
Right before it launches on October 31. So if you guys don't have the club membership, it's back on the 24th.
Okay.
I think it'll be a different workout too.
Yeah, they do a different one. I'm so excited for it. Literally counting down. Melissa's going to make sure that I get chiseled and that I'm eating right because I suck at my nutrition.
Wait till.
You look so good. What are you talking about? Jesus.
No, girl, I need the cut. Like, I need to look like Audrey. Have you seen Audrey? I need like the cut everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I suck at nutrition too.
That's when you get your success partner. Melissa's like all the time. She's like, "Why are you eating that?" I'm like, "I'm hungry." Why aren't you not drinking water? Because I don't want to get up.
Yeah, that's another thing she does not do is drink enough water.
Yeah, while we're working, I barely eat. I'm so concentrated. I'm like this.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer if there's no other questions. If any of you are like, oh, I think I see someone on a team page that I think I'd like to be success partners with, but you're not sure, feel free to ask us. Like, oh, maybe, and we'll let you know our honest opinion. Like, well, if we know your goals and we kind of know that person's goals, like Darlene said, we can tell you whether or not we think that's
a good match,
a good even opportunity. And if we don't think, if we do think so, then we would encourage you to move forward in following up with them or help you connect with them if you don't have a connection. And if you're like completely lost and you're like, I really want a success partner, I just don't know anyone on this team, feel free to reach out as well, because we
will help
somebody
you
who would be an amazing fit for you and you don't even know them yet.
Don't forget, we know everyone's personality.
I'm pretty sure when when me and her first started talking, I surely messaged Melissa. I was like, hey, you know me, like,
Yeah.
you've met me. What do you think?
She did.
It's definitely useful. Like, Melissa's gonna be giving birth, and I'm like, yo, hey, check this for me.
Oh my God! Another coach just asked me that today. She was like, "What do I do when you're like in labor?" I'm like,
text me.
When I'm having a baby and unable to answer questions, Darlene will be around to do that.
Or who was I talking to? And I asked a question. I forgot who I was talking to, and they told me, what was it? Gary Vaynerchuk. That's all they mentioned. I'm like, what?
Like, go search Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, I was like, what? I actually have to email her. I'm like, what did you mean by that?
Gary Vaynerchuk. All right,
ladies.
Have a good night, and you know where to reach us. Bye.